Hey guys, welcome back to Man Time. Woo! It is hot. 90-degree day down here in Texas, and man, I don't know about you, but getting a nice high and tight, nothing, nothing feels better than not having hair over your ears and itching you as you're working out in this heat. But if you're like me, you're out in it. We have things to do. We've got to maintain our property, maintain the land, maintain our equipment, and that's what we're going to be doing today. So today I've got the brush hog shredder, or bush hog, depending on where you're from and what it's called. People typically around here anyway either call it a bush hog or a brush hog. And brush hog is a brand, kind of like Kleenex is a facial tissue. Brush hog is a shredder. But they make all kinds of stuff. But commonly known shredding term is brush hogging or bush hogging. But this is an old one, yellow iron and industrial type of piece. It's better than 1/4-inch thick steel all the way around this thing. Super heavy duty. 6-foot cutter, and it's got these big, like, I think they're 28-inch blades on it, similar to like a lawnmower blade. So let's just talk about some of the things you're going to need to know when you're out there bush hogging. I can't even say it. I guess it's, we'll just call it brush hogging like everybody else. It's a Kleenex, right? So there's just a couple zerks on here. You've got one on the wheel that has a swivel, and then, you know, of course, for the wheel bearing. Couple on the drive shaft, and then on your gearbox here, it could either be a grease-filled or an oil-filled gearbox. And sometimes the seals wear out on them, and they'll leak the oil out, and then you can just convert it over to a grease at that point in time. I typically will add a little bit of each. It's got a little bit of a leak to it, so I'll fill it up with some 80-90 weight, and then a couple pumps of grease in there right on the gears, similar to like a pinion gear for a differential for a car that turns that rotating power from the drive shaft into a spinning blade on the bottom of it. I've already sharpened up the blades this season. This will be the second cut, and I wasn't going to do a whole lot in-depth for brush hogging. I've done a video on this last year. This is kind of, you know, I try not to be too repetitive in what I'm doing here, but there's some new technology available, drones that'll follow you around and stuff, so we'll try some of that out. And yeah, it just intrigues me. I'm so into, I started off life as a computer engineer in college, and learned, you know, C++ and Java and like HTML. I mean, just all kinds of different programming languages and stuff. And yeah, it's still fun to just get on the computer, program, and, you know, they've got something out there called Betaflight for the FPV drones. I might go into that in another video or something, but it's just so much fun, and the camera drones are just incredible. The technology today is just amazing. So we'll get it serviced here and get the tractor filled up with some diesel. Look at the zerks and grease the zerks on the tractor as well. You got a few there for steering, and there's a throwout bearing zerk on this one. That one's important to keep greased. And then we'll just get out in the field and do some brush hogging. So anyway, stick around and welcome to Man Time. Alright, so this job probably isn't worthy of the 24-volt DeWalt, so we'll just use the old hand pump style. Come on, baby. A little bit of grease in there. One other thing you don't typically think about when you're brush hogging, it's a lot like mowing, and so you want to do it actually in the heat of the day when the brush is dry. If you don't, it's going to start clogging up. All that wet grass and stuff is going to get on the inside there. It's going to bog your tractor down. It could burn out your PTO clutch. It could do a lot of bad things, and burning out a PTO clutch is a whole lot worse than burning up like a mower belt. So you really want to pay attention to, is the tractor bogging down as you're pulling it? Is it making funny noises? It can run over, you know, trees and stumps and churn those up pretty good, but the wet grass and the thick grass will actually be worse for it than just the bigger chunks of stumps and smaller trees, smaller stumps. All right. Wow. That was fun. Well, that's brush hogging at its finest. Brush hogging like a pro. Just keep that PTO RPM up. Listen to the tractor, making sure it's not bogging down. If it does start bogging down, the thing to do there is to kick that PTO or engage that PTO clutch so the PTO is stopped being driven by the tractor, and that will allow the tractor RPM to catch back up. If that brush hog gets jammed up, it's going to stop that blade and it's not going to affect the tractor. But what used to be, waist high weeds and thick grass and different sort of native plants to the area is now nice and cut, so it is going to now deter all those bugs, insects, mice, and all that stuff that was living out in there. They're going to look for other places to live. So if you're doing this right around your house, it's a good idea. Keep all the animals kind of away from your house. But John Deere performing really well today. It's 50 plus horse at the PTO, and yeah, still kicking. Got that injection pump rebuilt, and it's doing really good. So it's going to do it for today on Man Time, guys. Get out there and have you some man time too.